Most people think being likable is something you're just born with. Like either you have that magnetic energy or you don't. But honestly, that's one of the biggest myths in all of psychology. Likability isn't a personality trait, it's a set of behaviors. And those behaviors can be learned, practiced, and mastered by anyone. Here's what's wild though. Most of these behaviors are invisible. You don't even realize when someone is using them on you. You just suddenly feel drawn to a person and you don't know why. That warm, comfortable feeling you get around certain people, that's not an accident. That's psychology working exactly the way it was designed to work. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down 10 of these tricks for you. Not surface level stuff like smile more or make eye contact. We're going deep into how the human brain actually decides who to trust. Some of these are going to feel uncomfortably familiar to you because you've probably had these used on you without ever noticing. If you want to understand how your own mind really works, hit subscribe on ThoughtCraft right now. We go this deep on human psychology every single week, and what's coming in this video might actually change how you see every relationship in your life. All right, let's get into it. The first trick is called mirroring, and it's honestly kind of mind-blowing.
When you subtly copy someone's body language, their brain reads you as familiar. Familiar equals safe, and safe equals likable. It's that automatic. You tilt your head when they tilt theirs. You lean in when they lean in. You're not mocking them, you're syncing with them on a subconscious level. Research shows people report feeling more connected to someone who mirrors them, and they have no idea it's even happening. Try it in your next conversation and watch how quickly the energy shifts. The second trick is using someone's name, but not the way you think. Most people say a name once at the start and then forget about it completely. But psychologically, hearing your own name activates your brain in a very specific way. It literally signals to your mind, this person sees me as an individual. Weave someone's name into conversation naturally, not robotically. Not every sentence, just at the right emotional moments. It creates a sense of intimacy that feels almost unexplainably warm. And this is where it gets really interesting. The third trick has to do with letting people talk about themselves. Studies from Harvard show that talking about yourself activates the brain's reward system. It literally feels as good as food or money to certain parts of your brain. So when you give someone the space to talk about their own life, you become the reward. They associate you with that good feeling without even understanding why. Most people spend conversations waiting for their turn to speak.
The truly likable person spends that time asking one more genuine question instead. That tiny shift makes you unforgettable to almost everyone you meet. The fourth trick is called the Ben Franklin effect. And trust me, this one is counterintuitive. Most people think doing favors for others makes those people like you more. But the research actually shows the opposite can be just as powerful. When you ask someone to do a small favor for you, something strange happens in their brain. Their mind says, I did something nice for this person, so I must like them. It's your brain justifying its own behavior after the fact. So asking for a small, easy favor actually makes someone feel more positively towards you. It's not manipulation. It's just understanding how the mind rationalizes kindness. The fifth trick is about the power of genuine, specific validation. Not fake compliments. Those people can smell from a mile away. But finding one real, specific thing to genuinely appreciate about someone you just met. Not, you're so smart. Something like, the way you explained that was really clear. Specific praise bypasses the brain's skepticism filter almost completely. It feels real because it is real, and realness builds trust faster than anything. But here's the part most people don't notice. The sixth trick is all about eye contact and the exact right amount of it. Too little and you seem distracted or untrustworthy. Too much and you seem aggressive or unsettling. The sweet spot psychologists recommend is around 60 to 70% of the time. And here's the deeper layer. Maintain eye contact slightly longer when they're the ones talking. It signals that their words genuinely matter to you. Most people look away when the other person is talking, not when they themselves are. Flipping that pattern makes you feel deeply present to anyone you're with. The seventh trick involves something called emotional labeling.
When someone is venting to you, most people respond with advice or their own story. But what the brain actually craves in that moment is to feel understood. So instead of solving the problem, you name the emotion you're sensing in them. You say something like, "That sounds really frustrating," or "That must have felt really isolating." This one phrase does something remarkable inside the other person's nervous system. It lowers their emotional defenses and creates an almost instant sense of trust. People become deeply loyal to those who make them feel truly heard. And this is where it gets really interesting. The eighth trick is about matching someone's energy level when you first approach them. If someone is calm and quiet, bursting in with loud, high energy feels jarring and off-putting. If someone is excited and animated, being flat and low-key feels cold and dismissive. Matching their baseline energy level first says, "I see you, I'm with you." It's a form of emotional respect that most people never consciously think about. Once you're matched, you can slowly shift the energy in whatever direction you want, but leading with that match is what opens the door to real connection. The ninth trick is the one most people underestimate the most, and that's remembering details. Not big things. Anyone can remember big things. I mean the small stuff. The name of their dog, the trip they mentioned last month. When you bring those details back up later, something powerful happens in that person's brain. They feel like they genuinely matter to you on a deeper level. Because honestly, remembering small things says, "I was actually paying attention to you." In a world where most people are half present and distracted, that is incredibly rare. Rarity creates value, and value creates genuine admiration and connection. But here's the part most people don't notice about this one. It's not just about memory, it's about what that memory communicates emotionally. It tells the other person their words didn't just disappear into the air around you. That feeling is more powerful than almost any compliment you could ever give them. The 10th trick is the one that ties everything else together, and it's vulnerability. Not oversharing, not trauma dumping on someone you just met. Strategic, appropriate, small moments of honesty about your own imperfections. Something like admitting you were nervous before a big moment, or that you got something wrong. This is called the pratfall effect in psychology, and the research behind it is fascinating. People who show small, relatable flaws are consistently rated as more likable and trustworthy. Perfection creates distance. It makes people feel like they can't measure up to you. But a moment of genuine human imperfection creates a bridge between two people instantly. It gives the other person silent permission to be human around you too. And that permission is the foundation of every truly deep and lasting connection. This is what likable people understand that most people never figure out. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're trying to make the other person feel safe. Safety, familiarity, feeling heard, feeling remembered, feeling seen. Those are the real ingredients of magnetic human connection. Not confidence tricks, not smooth lines, not some rehearsed charisma routine. Just a deep understanding of what the human brain and heart are actually looking for. And now that you know these 10 things, you cannot unsee them. You will notice them being used around you every single day from this point forward. More importantly, you can start using them intentionally, with integrity, with warmth, with care. Because the most powerful version of these tricks is when they stop being tricks at all, when they become who you genuinely are in every room you walk into. That's when people don't just like you, they feel genuinely drawn to you without knowing why. And that feeling, that pull, that invisible magnetism, that's what psychology calls deep social trust. It's rare, it's real, and now you understand exactly how it works. If this video made you think differently about connection, hit subscribe on ThoughtCraft right now.
Drop a comment below telling me which of these 10 surprised you the most. Because honestly, this community talks about the stuff that most people are too afraid to say out loud. And if you stay here long enough, you will understand yourself in a way most people never will.